here I am back again. Here's the oil pan I took off. Actually doesn't look too bad. I don't see any shavings or anything in there. Yep. Just draining now. And there's the filter I took off. It was pretty filthy. But here's the transmission with the cover off. Looks pretty much clean, actually. Doesn't look too bad. The fluid doesn't look very good, but other than that, I don't see any shavings or anything. Doesn't smell burnt. I let it run for a little while before I cracked it open. I didn't smell anything, so that's what it looks like. And then I'm gonna put the new filter right up in there. And here's the oil that came out. Looks kind of dirty to me. It might be the original oil in it, I'm not sure. I'm not the original owner. But I don't know, looks pretty nasty to me. So I'm sure this transmission is gonna run a lot better. But anyways, I got the oil filter on, I got it all filled up. The oil pan was pretty easy to get off. It's just 4 bolts. And that's about it. Then you got the drain plug, which is an Allen wrench, which came off pretty easy. So I'm going to have fun trying to figure out how to fill this thing. I'm thinking that right there is where I'm going to be filling it. So I'm probably going to have to get a tube and run it all the way up and run the fluid in there. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to research it first. But transmission doesn't look too bad. Starter's looking pretty nasty. There's the oil filter I put in. Looks like the oil pan gasket's leaking a little bit right there. If I would have known that, I would have went ahead and got that and replaced it, but I think I'm gonna maybe retorque the bolts down, maybe just a little loose or something, so we'll see. It's not leaking bad. I mean, I can see it's leaking from before, not now. So, yeah. I don't know. That oil looks pretty nasty. But you can do it yourself, man. You don't have to go to dealers and pay a fortune. This is what I got to put in there. Max Life, full synthetic. And that's the coolant. I already showed you. And then here's the transmission filter and gasket in there. I'll replace that. And then I'm going to fill her back up. I already reset the codes on it, so hopefully our code won't come back up. And the transmission shifts a little better. It was starting to act up a little bit. It would, I think between first and second, it would jerk. And then get to like between second and third, it would rev up a little bit and then kick in. And after that, it was fine. But I'm hoping it's just the fluid needs to be changed, which actually it does. But the only other thing I can think of, it could be the speed sensor. I've heard those being an issue in these vehicles, so it just doesn't fix my problem. At least I know its transmission's taken care of, and don't have to worry about the fluid in it being changed or anything. So I'll just change the speed sensor out. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna pause now and then put it back together, and I'll show you when I'm done. Oh, by the way, my garage is a mess, but waiting on a new engine for this M50. My son blew the engine in it, so got it all apart. That's the next project. Engines for these are hard to find because they last a long time, but got to make sure you change the oil and keep an eye on the oil because they run a little hot. And he didn't do that, and he blew the engine, slung a rod right through the block. So it only had like, I think it had about 20-something thousand miles on it. So, and they're just breaking in around 30. So, but anyways, back to my car. But basically, I'm just cleaning the pan out. It did have just a very small amount of shavings in it, but it wasn't really that bad. So some of it could have been dirt, you know, for a vehicle with 160,000 miles on it. It didn't really look that bad. So, but anyways, I'm just cleaning it out. I don't have a wash bay or anything, so I'm just using a rag. There's the gasket that was on it didn't look too bad, but they give you one, so I might as well replace it. But yeah, I'm just cleaning it out, get all the dirt out of it or anything. Don't want to leave anything in there. So, then we'll put it back on after I put the filter in. So I got it all cleaned out now. I'm going to put the new gasket on it. Get it ready to go on. So just slap the new gasket on. I'm going to put the new filter in there. And then button it back up and fill her back up. So the new gasket just basically snaps on there. The only thing I was concerned about is the one that came out has these little metal washers in them. And the new one doesn't have that. But the holes are a little bit smaller. So I took one out and tried to put it in there, thinking maybe I'm supposed to put it in there, but no. Didn't fit, so I'm just going to put it in like this. I mean, it didn't come with any new ones, so anyways, back to it. I'm just kind of waiting for it to finish draining because it's still dripping. Try to get as much of that out as possible. I was almost tempted to wipe that down with a rag, but I really don't think I want to contaminate it, or I'm kind of leery about that, so I'm just going to leave it and wait for it to finish dripping, and then I'm going to put the filter back in and button it back up. So I wanted to point out now that when I pulled the old filter off, it left the rubber gasket in there, so that's got to come out because the new one has a rubber gasket on it. So you don't forget to pull that out and try to. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this transmission fluid looks pretty bad. Pretty bad. I mean, it doesn't smell or anything, but it's just kind of murky looking, old. I don't know when's the last time it's been changed, but I don't see any shavings in there or anything, or just dirty. Actually pretty nasty. Alright, so I got the filter in, gasket on, and put the pan back up. Got it all put the 4 bolts back in. Got 4 of them. Got one here, one over there, one there, one there. I just tightened them till they felt snug enough. Don't want to tighten them too tight. And I'm not going to put the cover back, the dust plate or whatever, splash plate back on it until I get it filled up, make sure the gasket's not leaking or anything. Then I'll put it back on. So, and just leave the drain plug off, because there's like a little tube up in there that goes up. And when you fill it, that's why you got to have this vehicle level. When you fill it and fluid starts coming out of this drain hole, dripping out, then that's how you know that it's full. So my filler is right here, right there. So I got to take that cap off and got to figure out how I'm going to get the fluid in there. I could go find me a little hose or something to hook up to a funnel and something. But anyways, here's the gasket. I'm just going to go around it one more time and just make sure it's snug. When you put the bolts on, you don't want to put like this one on, then that one. You want to cross it, like tighten that one a little bit, then tighten that one a little bit, then jump over here and tighten this one a little bit, then tighten this a little bit, and just keep doing that until they get all tight. That way it evens out the gasket when you're tightening it on there. But I'll just go around, make sure the gasket's sealed up. Got something leaking right here. I don't know if it's old oil or... I have to check that out. But anyways, I'm going to figure out how to fill it back up. And be right back.